What's up guys, it is I, once again, Yusuf Al-Saned, and today guys I want to talk about Vincenzo Natali's 2009 science fiction thriller, Splice. Splice is a film that tells the story of these two scientists who are played by Adrien Brody and Sarah Polley, and they are working for this medical research facility that aims at trying to create a new protein that can cure all cancer, and they give birth to this new life form, a creature that resembles a hunk of meat almost, and this creature is a male, and which they refer to as Fred. Prior to Fred, they created another life form similar to Fred, which they named Ginger. So there's Ginger and Fred who mate with each other, or rather they imprint, which is a form of connection. And since both of them are, of the opposite sex, they connect with each other and bond the way man and women do. It's how the cycle of life and recreation and reproduction has always been in mankind. And the company that Calvin and Elsa, the characters of Adrien Brody and Sarah Polley respectively, they shut down their project and are moving to stage 2, which is to create this protein, and they are completely avoiding what they've been working on all this time with these two creatures that they've created. They are so desperate because their company is going down so fast and they are losing a lot of money, yet Calvin and Elsa are so determined to have a medical breakthrough, and they wish to move on with their experiment, creating another life form, and using the DNA of both Fred and Ginger as well as the DNA of a human being, they create this new life form they refer to as H50 before Elsa officially names her Dren. Dren being backward for nerd, which is the company that Calvin and Elsa work for. And Dren, guys, is such a fascinating, unique, very intelligent life form, and my god, it might sound weird to some, but she is absolutely beautiful, guys. I'm not even joking. I mean, the way that Elsa looks at her in the beginning, and eventually Calvin, that look that they have when they see her for the first time, and how she matures from a fetus to a infant to eventually becoming a grown woman, it's really fascinating to watch. And they look at her in such awe the way I do. She looks so beautiful, guys. I mean, if you just look at her and the way she smiles and the way she is so fascinated by her surroundings, the way every newborn would, she matures and grows at such a fast rate. It's truly amazing, guys, and it's so cool to see how she interacts with Elsa and Calvin differently, because when she's around Elsa, she's like a daughter figure to her, and Elsa has always wanted a little girl, and her reasons for wanting a little girl is something which is very complicated, and I would say it to be selfish, because what Elsa does later on is something that really makes me so sick to my stomach. I found it to be disturbing and totally uncalled for. Besides Elsa's conflict with Dren and how she loves her and how she also wishes to control her in a way, I love how Dren interacts with Calvin, because when she's around him, she goes from loving him like he was her own father to actually being interested in him and wanting to, connect with him. Basically, she wanted to seduce him and to mate with him. Now, it's very strange, but when you think about it, every girl that grows and they obviously reach a mature age and they hit puberty, they start to think of boys. It's not very common, but a lot of girls do think of boys at that mature stage in their life, when they start to go through puberty and start to behave differently and they experience different parts of life. And boys are the same thing. When they reach of age, they start to think of girls too. So it's really interesting to see how Dren is very much a human being, in that she is a woman, but also someone who is very scared and very vulnerable when she's around other people, especially Elsa, because as the story goes on, Elsa starts to treat her very aggressively, and she really wants to control Dren, because that's the part I was talking about. It's the fact that Elsa's reason for wanting to create Dren using her own DNA, it's something I would say to be selfish. And to be honest, guys, everyone is selfish, no matter what our reasons are for helping someone we love or care for. A part of that reason is because we as human beings are selfish, and the way they treat Dren and the way we see Dren mature and how she does change, she goes from being someone who's so sweet, scared and vulnerable to being downright hostile and threatening. And considering what happens to Dren as she matures and after everything she's experienced at the hands of Elsa, I can't really blame her because, guys, Splice does delve into taboo territory in which human beings actually create life. They're playing God basically, and they're creating life using science, and that's the kind of moral ground you must never ever cross. Calvin makes this very evident as he objects to what Elsa's trying to do, because a part of her reason is selfish, but another part of it is that she wants to have her own child. She wants to have a child, but creating one out of your own DNA and mixing the DNAs of Fred and Ginger is something you must never do. I mean, guys, this is a very serious thing. The fact that they create life, and their company, if they learn about Dren's existence, they plan to exploit her and use her. And that's utterly disgusting, guys. Not for 1 second have I looked at Dren and think of her as a monster. No, I think of her more as a human being, and a very tragic one at that, unlike the other people in the movie. I mean, everyone in the movie, from Calvin to Elsa, more so the company that they work for, they're the real monsters. When human beings cross that line between God and man, it's something that must never be crossed, guys, and they have done that, and they're paying for it. This is their responsibility. Their responsibility being Dren. Dren is at this point their child, and when their child starts to behave very erratically because of bad parenting on their part, they have to put that child out, and it's really sad, disgusting. Yet that is what I find so intriguing about Vincenzo Natali's movie. I mean, it delves into that issue, that taboo issue of man creating life and breaking that moral ground, as well as showing this couple who do want to have a child of their own, yet the way they go about it is just totally unacceptable. Those themes and ideas explored are handled so well thanks to Vincenzo Natali's writing, as well as the other writers who worked alongside him, and his direction. He creates this tension between Calvin and Elsa, as well as Dren, and you don't know when Dren might become hostile, or when Elsa and Calvin might do something that may hurt Dren. I felt bad for her, I felt sorry for her. At the same time, I really understood her almost. Once again, it's really strange to describe how I feel towards her, but if you watch this movie and just observe how Dren behaves, and those moments of happiness she has as she learns to dance for the first time with Calvin, or when she has her first pet in this small kitty cat, or when she starts to draw her own pictures and she actually behaves like a real little girl who becomes a woman, it's all really beautiful, guys, just as Dren is. And I really love the story so much, guys. I mean, it is a science fiction thriller, but it's also a drama at its heart. That aspect to Vincenzo Natali's Splice is something I really love, that family dynamic, and I love the performances by everyone. Adrian Brody, Sarah Polley, especially Delphine Chenek, who plays Dren. I really love her so much, guys. I mean, she's able to play Dren physically without saying a single word. Every movement she does, and just the way she looks at things, and the way she smiles, and how she has this look of a child when she's eating a rabbit, and how she gives out a very innocent, funny smile, or when she's crying in a corner after her mother basically abused her, or when she's experiencing new things like dancing or drawing or putting makeup on and trying a new dress. It's all really beautiful, guys, and this movie was so much an experience, and it is something to look at and ponder just how wrong it is to create life against God's will. At the same time, it's a story about a family who may be a very dysfunctional family, but they are a family nonetheless. It's funny because I haven't seen that many science fiction films that's able to balance out the science aspect with the family dynamic while also exploring many themes and ideas some may consider taboo. But this is exactly what I love about Vincenzo Natali's Splice. It's a really interesting, fascinating, and powerful film. That's my review on Vincenzo Natali's Splice. Please do check it out, and thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe if you wish, and do check out my gaming channel where I do let's play series, gaming content, all that kind of good stuff. Until next time, peace out, take care, adios amigos, au revoir, and sayonara.